This is a fascinating one. A school gets built on a possible old World War II graveyard of Japanese soldiers. 100-year-old acacia tree gets cut down to make room for the gymnasium. There's a band dance practice, repetitive music playing. Kids fall down, start convulsing in seizures, speaking in other voices, making strange noises. The men have trouble holding them down, and they're convinced that it was the spirit of the tree that they cut down. Could the kids have been put into a seizure from the music? Maybe, but there still are a lot of loose ends that don't seem to fit. Captain.
Yes, sir.
Nice to meet you. So
Yeah.
I heard that you were here the night of that incident, and you saw it.
And I saw it.
Did you try to hold one of the kids
Yeah,
down?
5 persons holding, they still move the cell. We cannot hold them tight. We cannot stop them. So that's right.
And I heard there was one kid who kind of communicated a message to you.
Yeah, that's right. So when we asked them, why are you doing this? What happened? Why? They answered that they damage our houses, they damage our castle. So we asked again, where your castle is here? No, where is your castle here? So, and they point and they put it and they stop it and where this 100 years or more trees there. That was they said, here's our house, here's our castle.
So with the arbolario, with the witch doctor, you bought a giant black pig. You sacrificed it here.
Yeah, I sacrificed it there.
You took the blood and you made markings
that's right.
in all the rooms.
And
I can still see those are the markings from the pig's blood, right?
That's the blood.
So she made crosses all the rooms.
Yeah, all over.
My brain is suffering from a gridlock of thoughts. On one hand, I really don't believe in demonic possession. On the other, I cannot explain what I just heard. The captain seems like an honest, sensible man. He also appears deeply rattled. It's not a friend of a friend story. He himself wrestled with the thrashing kids, heard them make animal noises, and speak dark, slippery words that still lodge in his head. Maybe the priests who saw the kids can help me piece it together. If you did have a demon, Knights of the Holy Cross sounds like the right place to go. Glowing with fluorescent light, even on the darkest night, it must have seemed like salvation for panicked teachers and parents as they rushed their struggling children into the open sanctuary. I arrive late, just like the kids had before me. I see no official-looking priest or preacher in the small, unassuming crowd. I turn to address some of the parish, quickly discovering that these quiet and slightly bashful men are the guys. These very men battled the supernatural spirits.
We process the kids, we cleanse them spiritually, we make their faith strong so that they themselves can fight back.
Exorcist explained to me, Father Zerudo, that you did have a hierarchy of
hierarchy,
demons,
yeah.
same as the angels have a hierarchy. And the elementals, the spirits living in rivers,
Yes.
trees, such are the low-level caves, are low-level demons, basically. But spirits living in water, rocks, and trees is pushing the limits of credulity. I just don't think so. On the other hand, what the hell happened to these kids? Can't be poison or drugs. They weren't faking it. I'm at a loss. I decide that it's worth the effort to track down a contrary opinion. And in this hospital, I'm betting I'll find someone who has one. It turns out I'm right. This guy.
These children undergoes a sort of mass hysteria in which they show dissociative symptoms, being in trance, shouting as if they are possessed by a spirit, talking in different voices. but they usually snap out of it after some time.
Mass hysteria, aka mass psychogenic movement disorder? What?
So we in our social psychiatry, we recognize this phenomenon. A folk healer doing a certain ritual acts in a way that they perform a sort of a therapy that the person would be able to relate with because it is culturally accepted, and they get well because of the
It all
stigma
begins to
of
click. A jumble of pieces begin to come together into a solid shape.
we are usually the last recourse. So if patient can get better with counseling with a priest or a ritual with a faith healer or folk healer, then that's enough for most folks.
Happens to cohesive groups under a heavy amount of stress. Like school kids, up late into the night, hammering out a complex dance routine over the course of weeks. Strict supervision, pressure to not screw up, big public performance looming. The kids cracked, and the conditions were perfect for this crazy mental infection to spread and thrive, flipping the switch in several fragile young minds. Maybe in the end, the kids just needed a little less school, a little less practice, and a little more of this. And that's exactly why I travel. With the demon case closed, I found myself a bit sad that there was indeed no monster in the closet. I carried around that holy water for nothing? But hold the phone. Something else has been haunting the people of the Visayas. Something more physical, more horrific than I fear a squirt of water or a drop of Latin could repel. If you thought tree devils were bizarre, wait till you get a load of this.